Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And we have got the, well, not new, but I guess it's kind of new, Heavenly Conquest event. This time, instead of one fight against one of the Veldoras, it's 6 fights against Inferno 1, 2, and 3 of each version. So, Red Veldora against, and then normal Veldora in his dragon form. The stages are fairly similar. Veldora ends up having lower attack but higher defense on Inferno 3. They have the same HP, I think just about, and they do the same exact things in the fight. It's just one has higher attack and one has higher defense. But there are a lot of missions attached to these quests, like a lot of them, and they vary between each difficulty. But between the two different Veldoras, the missions are the same. So Inferno 1 for Veldora Tempest are the same missions that Veldora Against has for Inferno 1. So if we look at this, you need to do it with everyone alive 3 times and 5 times, magic, and then a physical team, which I've already done, and then 2 characters with an initial rarity of 4-star or less, and that's the Inferno 1 missions. Inferno 2 is clear it with everyone alive 5 times and 3 times, and then clear it with at least 3 characters of every single element. So dark, wind, fire, light, earth, space, water. Every single element needs... So you gotta run it 7 times, because you can only put 5 characters on a team. So 3, you can't do 3 and 3, because the Protector doesn't count. So you're gonna have to run each stage, or each Inferno 2 stage, 7 times to get the 3 of each element. And if this is the case, like, I would just run your best team and just start swapping some backline units in or something like that. And then Inferno 3 has an entirely different set of missions where they again want you to clear it 3 and 5 times, but then with very specific units. Benimaru, Gobta, Soe, Hakuro, Ranga, Shion. There are others in this list, and this is again just kind of copy and cut and paste whatever unit you need. These are going to take you a while, because I highly doubt that a lot of players are going to be able to clear it with multiple of these missions done at the same time, just because of the specifics. And it's around until December, so it's not like you're in a super huge rush. And depending on when you started, you probably can't even beat the stage anyways. So they do give a butt ton of medals, and they do give some magic crystals as well. Medals are good for the shop. So I mean, try your best. If you can't clear the missions, then I would just at least attempt to clear the stage with whatever your strongest team is, and then just kind of leave it alone. There's a lot to do right now anyways. So I'll try and show off a team for like each difficulty or something, checking off some missions just to give you an idea of what you should be looking for. But let's get started. So starting off with Inferno 1, the missions again are like physical and magic teams and a couple 4-star units that start out. So we're going to do an example of that. Obviously it's not going to work for everyone, you got to make whatever team you are able to. But New Year's Blessing is a physical team. We've brought the 4-star free-to-play hero from the Fire 2.0 meta, and then the very first meta, Dark Benimaru. This is an all-physical team. We have 2 4-star or lower characters that start out at 4-star, and we have a team that has enough damage with some like 2 or 3 ults to reliably kill Inferno 1. So we're going to knock out a few missions just with this specific team. So starting out, I reset until I got a decent hand of blues, because none of the orbs are nerfed. You can use anything you want here, which is really, really nice. And we'll bring in our 2 backline units because they have extra protection gauge underneath them for turn 2. And we'll go ahead and send these blues. That gets us access to Shion next turn. She's going to give us the 30 points for free. Give us a lot to work with on turn 2. Now, the end of turn 2, you get locked in. 2 of the characters get locked in. So it's not ideal, but it is something we can work around. So here we have a 2-2-2 spread, which is not great. However, by bringing the free-to-play hero, we can actually play around with that. So when we convert with Shion, she's going to change all these to oranges, and then Hero can give away 3 oranges to our highest attacking character, who is Rimuru. So boom, okay, look at that hand of oranges, perfect. Now he can go away, and we can bring in Shensha. So now we have an alt swapping character for next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We could do that, but we're also going to Rainbow here, because we need some extra protection gauge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That gets us EX ult, gets us some points, gets us another Xion. We take a crit counter, because he's got guaranteed crit and guaranteed pierce. Okay, thank you very much. And now, it's going to be random who he locks in, and it could be favorable, it could not be favorable. So after this ult, and there's a lock, and there's a lock, he also frostbites you and poisons. So it's like 2 different forms of passive damage you're going to take. It doesn't do a lot unless you really get hit. Turn 3, apart from being locked in, is fairly free. So we're going to ult swap. We'll attack buff with Rimuru. We'll also guarantee the next hand is full oranges. And then we'll once again use Xion to convert, which is why we use the rainbow orbs, because this turn would be kind of wonky if we didn't have access to Xion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That gets us almost an EX ult with Shinsha. Rimuru has his ult, but he's locked in, so I couldn't swap him out. We use his attack buff early because it's active for 2 turns, and now everything is going to leave. Boom, excellent. And he can go away. He's ready to go. So, what should we do? Should we do this again? Yeah, let's do that so we guarantee the next incoming orb is orange. We'll take Rimuru out of here. Boom. We'll use the ult swap again. Perfect. And now we don't have to do anything except make points back. And this will get us the Xion or the Shinsha ult. It'll get us a Milim ult. And I think we'll be ready to go after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Perfect. Get us a double Xion, actually. Alright. So, turn 4. He's going to ult again. Not great. And then next turn, turn 5, he's going to put up counters. So he's got guaranteed counters, and he's got guard. So you really are not looking to hit him with anything right now, unless they are ult attacks. So let's bring in... Actually, you know what? Let's show it off. That way you guys understand what's going on. So let's send this one orb for Milim, and you can see what happens when we hit. So, alright, cool. And then a guaranteed counter, and it kind of hurts. So, turn 5, you're not trying to send orbs, unless you want your characters to die. So, now we can bring in Rimuru for hero. Excellent. We'll use the other 2 buffs, so buff, buff, boom, boom. The attack buff for Rimuru is already active. We'll use Xion to give everyone the guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. We'll change that last orb so we can send a full 6 hand of oranges. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this should be plenty of damage right here. 122 on the AoE for Milim, Shinsha 288, and then Rimuru with his personal attack buff 487. So there we go. That's the full physical team mission. That's 2 4-star unit mission. That's everyone alive mission. So you're going to have to build whatever you have access to, and if you don't have a solid team that can complete one of those missions, like, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I would just try and clear it as best you can. And then any missions you are capable of doing, focus on those, instead of trying to slam your head against a wall, trying to bring some unawakened physical 4 stars or something like that. Alright, so we're moving on to Inferno 2 and their set of missions now, which is all of the different elements. So we have a mission to do 3 dark characters. We've brought the free-to-play Isis, the new Diablo, and the new Kyokyo. So all 3 of them are dark. This team will work, it'll run fine, even though we don't have an ult swapper. We're not trying to get 100 million damage here, it's not that big a deal. I just need 3 dark characters on a team that kind of makes sense, and this team kind of makes sense. Alright, so turn 1, we reset until we got like a decent hand, so 5 green orbs that we can convert with the free 50% gauge increase from Diablo, bring Raphael in, bring Kyokyo in because they've got protection gauge, well, Kyokyo does. Raphael's the nuking character, and during this we're going to prove that like you don't really need even a good run, you just need an okay run. So this turn 2 is terrible, so we're just going to burn out the oranges. I think about it for a bit, but we're going to burn the oranges because there's really nothing we can do. Isis changing blue orbs is great if I got more than 1 blue orb in this entire fucking run, but we just need to work on getting ults for Raphael and Diablo. More so Raphael because he's the damage dealer, but we're binded in, we're poisoned, we're frostbit, so nothing really that we can do here. but we can take Kyoko out after we use his alt gauge vitalization, which will interact well with Elmesia's buff. So now we're getting 25% alt gauge from Kyoko's buff and 25% from Elmesia. So we're going to get 50% alt gauge on the next couple of turns for free, regardless of what we do, which is really going to help. So now we just reset, we use the orb change, we use the multi-skill, and then we do another Gazel, so this is a full 6-hand of greens. This will give us quite a bit. I wish all those Gazel orbs were Raphael's, but whatever, you can't win them all. And we'll use as many stacks as we can of Raphael to get his ult and synergy power up. And then next turn, he's going to... What's he going to do? He is not doing anything right now. He's going to ult. That's fine. He doesn't do a lot of damage at the start of the fight. It's towards the end of the fight where you're really not looking so hot. So here, there's not much I can really do, to be perfectly honest. So since we're getting so much extra alt gauge, I'm not really going to worry about it. I think I send everything but the Raphael alt. And because we have no orbs for Raphael, like we're just banking purely off of the passive alt gauge we're getting from the 2 skills, which does work. So we'll just change everything. We'll send the Gazel and Diablo alts. Gazel's extra weakness strike for Raphael means nothing here because we're not type advantage. It's type neutral, so it means nothing. And Diablo's damage is terrible anyways. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll hold on to that. We'll get another 50% alt gauge at the end of this turn. And then next turn is the counterattack turn, which is unfortunate if you don't have an ult to send, because he can't counter ults. And because of the ult gauge increase we're getting, Diablo now has an ult. And we have at least one more turn of 50% alt gauge, which means that even if we didn't have a Raphael orb here, it doesn't matter, because we're only sending Diablo. And then we're going to get the EX ult from doing literally nothing with Raphael for the past, 3 turns. So now he has an EX ult. That's great. And then this final turn, a bit unfortunate, because I kind of wanted to swap Raphael ult, but it's going to pull that orb in, and neither Isis or Kyoko are Divine General, so Gazel wouldn't be able to convert it. So we're just going to send 5 orbs here after I think about it for a hot minute, which I really do think about it for a hot minute. Yeah, so we're going to get some stacks with Raphael as much as we can. Well, not as much as we can, but enough. And then we'll just send the Gazel ult, these other orbs. And I think we wait 2 more turns to get points. So yeah, we have 3 oranges again. We literally got no blue orbs this entire run. I brought Isis to change blues, and I should have brought friggin'... Well, I needed Isis for the dark mission, but... Who could I have brought? Could I have brought anyone else? Who's another dark blue orb changer? Oh, I could have brought first standing Diablo. That's right. Yeah, whatever. Oh well. Send the 3 oranges. That'll give us enough points to use all 3 of the big time buffs, the 3 90-point skills from everyone. And not a stack of Elmesia, not a big deal. We're going to have 280 points after Raphael's trait kicks in. And boom, there we go. We have an EX ult for Diablo as well, which I guess is cool. Which I guess is fine. So very obviously not an optimized run, not a super great run, but with the damage output this team has, Raphael does 1 million right there. That's all we really need to do. So if you can build a team with 3 elements of whatever you can, if you can build this team and just substitute Isis and Kyoko for 2 more Earth characters or 2 more space characters or whatever, then you can get a lot of those done. Because as long as you have a team that functions relatively well, you can get through it and you can kill. But it's just going to be dependent on what you have available in your own box. Alright, and the final clip of this video, I guess, is going to be Inferno 3, where we've brought physical and magic teams, we've brought certain elements, and now it's time to bring very specific units. So Benimaru, Gobta, Soe, Hakura, Ranga, Shion. Geld is in there too. There's a lot of different characters, and again, it's just going to be based on what you have available. If you have some of the free-to-play Gelds, you can bring them. Ranga, he's got a couple free-to-play units, and he's got the summonable space unit that's super duper old, OG release old. If you don't have any of those specific units at all, then obviously you can't get the mission done. Don't worry, just do what you can. probably the easiest way you're gonna do this if you want to do it is I would just bring the Vengeance team. The team is so secure and safe. It's gonna take a while to beat it, yeah, but Ranga is a green orb changer. The Protector of Peace Geld is a green orb changer. You could put some random Benimaru. I put some random Dark Xion on here just for the mission. Diablo's here because his green buff is free, so we're running off of the Ranga and Yob converts, and if you just want to do this and just rotate a character or 2 characters out, you could get the mission done. Like, you have to bring Shuna. You could bring Idle Shuna for the green alt swap. All the other characters you could easily put just on the Vengeance team. Or you could use some other team that actually has them. Like, Tempest Elite has a lot of the characters. Gobta, Soe, Benimaru, Shuna. Like, that works just fine. Ogre's Pride works because that's got the free-to-play Hakuro on it. I mean, there are a number of team builds you can use as long as you can run the basis of the team. Like, if you don't have a Tempest Elite team to begin with, then obviously you ain't going to use that. And if you don't have a good Ogre's Pride team because you don't have Protector Benimaru and you don't have Momiji or someone to alt swap, and, well, not Momiji, but like Blanc or Shuna to alt swap, it's going to be kind of hard. So again, this is just to give you an example of some kind of team build that you can use that can get the missions done, where you can just slap on some characters and call it a day. And Vengeance will certainly do that, and it'll keep you alive, because it seals pretty much everything that he does except for the counters, and then you're guarding and everything. So the only thing you're really worried about is his ult, because it's an AoE and you can't guard that. But otherwise, eventually you will kill VELDORA, and just by virtue of having a lot of stacks from the Vengeance counters on him. And yeah, so I mean, VELDORA's, if you're trying to do the specific missions, you can run into some headaches, obviously. But if you have access to a lot of different characters, then you potentially have access to doing a lot of those missions. You just gotta use your head and figure out what team is going to give you the best option of survival and killing him while having some of these random characters. Because Hakuro, like, doesn't have any really good units. He's got the free-to-play, he's got the old 5-star, like, he's not really that great. Ranga doesn't have a lot of units. Xion doesn't have a lot of relevant units. So options for some of these are pretty slim. Benimaru only has, what, 1 EX unit? And that's Tempest Elite. And he's got his Protector, which doesn't count for any of the missions because he's a Protector. Like, yeah, some of these are going to be kind of hard. So even if you miss out on a few of them, like, don't feel bad. We're going to have a lot of other ways to get the 3rd anniversary medals. And even if you can't clear out everything from that shop, you're still going to get enough to get the important things, like the EX ticket, like the EX shards. Like, I wouldn't worry too much about what you can and cannot clear, because that shop is around for another... let me check. How long is that shop here for? 110 days. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot more 3rd anniversary medals. So even if you can't do these specific ones, if you miss out on a couple 5 or 10 crystals off of each stage, like, it's unfortunate, but if you don't have the options, then you don't have the options, and there's nothing I can do to help you with that, except tell you to break out Daddy's credit card and start wailing, which I do not recommend that you do. So yeah, VELDORA against all 3 different stages of Inferno, all 3 different types of missions cleared in one way, shape, or form. We can get it done. I can get it done. Hopefully you can maybe get some of them done. Obviously, since all the missions are quite varied, if you have very specific team builds that clears a lot of missions all at once, feel free to put them down in the comments. That way people can see that, and if they have the capability of making that team, then they can certainly take it. I really recommend you do that, because I can't cover every single team, otherwise we would be here for like a full day going over every single team and every single mission. Like, I don't want to do that. You don't want to sit through that, and I have better things to do with my time. So yeah, we're just gonna make do with what we got. We're on turn 9 here, and while we haven't really done a lot of damage, we also haven't taken a lot of damage, because Vengeance is still that good. And unless the stage specifically nerfs it, Vengeance is still going to be pretty good. But it is going to take a long time. It probably takes as much time to do this as it would to do like a normal run in beatdown battle for the current Divine General team, because that team is so friggin' slow. Ugh, I hate it sometimes. But we are almost done here. Sending full hands of greens, getting a lot of points, using as many stacks of vengeance as we can. We're up to 65 now, and it does how much? 360k? So yeah, I mean, we've won now. All we have to do is survive this turn, which Ranga is a bit low, so we'll get him out of here, and then we'll just use more vengeance. We're not going to seal him, I don't think, which is actually not great, because I end up sending a lot of this. And then, yeah, counter, and we actually almost die. Because I think he does have guard penetration, which obviously negates what our guard is doing. But, boom, 473. 11 turns. It's not fast, but it does keep you safe. So there we go. There are 3 difficulties of Infernos cleared for the Heavenly Conquest event. Again, if you have specific team builds that clears a lot of missions, please put them in the comments. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.